Hey, what's up? So, well, I guess I could take a break. The waves are pumping today. I think there was a storm swell way out in the Pacific, so I don't know, it's almost like double overhead out there. But anyway, whoa, hey, welcome to our video today. We got a sweet pick a card reading for you. We got pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3. We are gonna look at what's coming for you, summer 2020. Oh! Like, are you about to get yourself a sunburn? Ooh, you better put some aloe on that, brah. Or are you about to get yourself a sweet golden tan like an islander, dude? Anyway, I paired up with my girl V11 Crystals over at V11 Crystals. She's got an Instagram. I will link that down below. She's got a lot of sweet pictures, especially with her oracle card. She just came out with a fortune cookie oracle. That is so sweet. Oh, I like fortune cookies. Anyway, oh yeah, you should totally check out her channel though too. She's got like all kinds of different videos. She's got pick a card, she's got unboxings, she's got reaction videos, because she got a whole other channel where she does a reaction to stuff. I react to the waves. Yeah. Oh, waves are kind of sexy though, but anyway, hey, so definitely go check out her channel, and hey, if by the end of this you dug this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, don't forget to click subscribe, and don't forget to click that ding ding ding. Whoa, speaking of dings, I gotta get this to my blaster, notification bell for more videos just like this. And hey, if you want to catch a reading for me, like sweet, awesome, I got conjumancy readings on my website, bro. I got all kinds of other things on there, and I got a newsletter, like what? And hey, maybe you want to join the tribe, you know? I got a Patreon page, patreon.com/kittens, weights, and tarot. Got a lot of free stuff on there, but it helps me make fun videos just like this. But anyway, like I said, hey, I gotta get out there because the little grums and grummets, they're dropping in. They think they own the wave. They own the ocean. But anyway, I'm gonna be hanging out there, and I'm gonna catch y'all later, right? It's looking pretty good. Looks like swell's coming in. All right, hey, last one to the line up the kook.
All right, you guys, so let's go ahead and do this. This is your pile number 1. This is your pile number 2. This is your pile number 3. I have my water thermos, seashell thermos, ready for us. I have a pile off to the side. That is for my friend V. After this is all done, remember that after you get your reading here, head over to her channel for that extendo reading. So you can choose her pile number 1, 2, or 3, or whichever one that you're drawn to, or maybe you're drawn to multiple ones, just so you can get that extended reading. I'm also going to be using my seashells today, so I'm going to be doing a bit of conjumancy with each of the piles. So let's go ahead and get started.
All right, what up, pile number 1? If you chose pile number 1, you have this awesome cone seashell here, found in the beaches of San Diego, my hometown. Okay, so let's see, what will summer 2020 be bringing you? Is it going to be more of a sunburn, or are you going to get more of that suntan? Let's check it out. We have actually quite a few different decks that we're going to be using. Maybe I'll just show you guys real quick. I'm going to be doing using the Oracle of the Mermaids. I'm using the Lisa Frank Majors Only Tarot. I'm also going to be using Hazel Moon's Hawaiian Tarot. In here is actually my Dame Darcy, so I'm going to be using that tarot as well. I'm going to be using my Oracle Pogs, which come in here. And I'm going to be using my Food Fortunes. And I'm going to be using the Millennial Tarot Majors Only. This one's just kind of for funsies. Okay, so let's go ahead and flip over all the cards. So we'll go through them together. We have Adrift, letting go, allowing a higher force to take charge for a time. Let's see, student loans. Qualities: soul-crushing, long-term, expensive. Description: budgeting, second-hand clothing, and not splitting the bill at dinner keeps debt at bay and annoys your friends. Will your frugality be a lesson in patience and restraint, or in fear of missing out and regret for missed activities? The place: the sharing economy. your totem, art history degree. We have the mispronounced. I use these more like oracle cards instead of tarot. We have the hermit. We have the magician. And we have 7 of sticks, which is like your 7 of wands. And then our oracle pog says yes. So we'll take a look at these cards first. And then I will pull from my seashells over here so we could do a little bit of conchmancy. So let me spread these out so you guys can get a good look at them as well. And then you can perhaps also gain a message from your own interpretation. And remember that this is going to connect with some people, maybe not all people. Maybe part of it will connect, maybe not all, or maybe all of it will connect, who knows. But it's just because it's general and there's a lot of different people watching. Okay, so what is coming for you, summer 2020? Okay, so let's take a look here. So we have 7 of sticks, we have a magician. Okay, so as something was going through my mind, the yes had popped in. So you might have some issues, some complications as we go into, well, we've just gone over the solstice, you know, here in the northern hemisphere for summer, and I know the southern hemisphere has gone into winter, but for summer here in the northern hemisphere, it seems like there's going to be some issues coming up for you summer of 2020. So one way to, I guess, not get too heavy into the 7 of sticks over here is just to kind of allow some stuff just to kind of roll off your back, kind of, I guess you want to think of like a duck, you know how water just kind of rolls off its back. Because it seems like with finances, they're going to be tough. Kind of, you know, issues with people, just kind of getting into petty arguments. I don't see anything like major issues. It's just like people getting irritated, and, you know, and just because they're irritated, they tend to pick fights with people, not necessarily because they dislike the person, but just because they feel like getting into a fight, is kind of what I'm getting. So, and with the mispronounced, I am getting the people not being able to get their point across. So I'm seeing like miscommunication, there's some money issues, there's some, you know, arguments. So one way to kind of get through this, I am seeing with the just kind of just woosa, like let some stuff just roll off your back. I know you're going to want to engage. You know, somebody says something and you want to engage back and say, hey, you know, you're wrong because da 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 da. You know, sometimes when people are feeling like they want to get into a petty argument, they don't care what it is that you have to say, especially when emotions are running high. People are less likely to think coherently, think rationally or logically. They're thinking like solely with emotion. And so if you're trying to reason with somebody who's super hyped up on feeling only, because, you know, we have to have a balance, but if you're out of balance and you're solely on feeling right now, they will not listen to a word that you say, no matter how much you talk and how blue in the face you get. They're just not going to listen. So in that case, you're going to have to put on your big boy, big girl britches, and you're just going to have to let that go. You may have to go inwards for a time, you know, in the summer, which, I mean, you can be out and about, you know, obviously depending on what the guidelines are for where you live. But I mean, in terms of like, I guess like oversharing stuff and like maybe getting into what you thought was a friendly argument at first. So maybe just kind of be more to yourself. There is a time for magic though, which means that there is, you can create during this time. So while you're in this little bit of a hermit mode, because, you know, electricity is just all over for summer for you. You know, everybody's wanting to get into each other's faces. with that electricity, you know, it could be taken into a positive or a negative. In the negative, that's when everybody's getting into fights. In a positive, there are some creative projects that you may have put on the back burner that you can now like start to get into, because the energy is there, the magic is there for you to make some headway on that, if not fully complete it. So that's where I see the yes. It's yes. There is magic to be made. There is some great stuff out there because there's a lot of electricity out there for summer of 2020. There is a lot of fiery energy, but you're going to want to keep some of those projects more, keep it close to you, and maybe stay more inward, and just be careful with people not, of there being miscommunication. So just try to be as succinct and as clear as possible when you are communicating with others, especially online. Oh my gosh, people, especially if they are already agitated and they read a text message from you or an email and they totally take it another way, fights could ensue. So just make sure that you are nice and clear. If they are, you know, flying off the handle because they took it wrong, I mean, you could try to explain and say, hey, that's not what I meant. But if they want to engage in a fight, you say, you know what, I'll get back to you when you've calmed down. And sometimes people get a little angry when you tell them to cool off, but hey, I mean, you don't want to engage in that. So anyway, so that's what's coming for you of summer of 2020. There is a lot of electricity in the air, a lot of magic to be made, but you're going to have to maybe keep to yourself just a little bit. Be wary of communication. Just make sure that it's very clear. Make sure that you have a handle on your finances. Maybe there are so many like budget apps out there. I also know in, at least in the United States, in July 15th is the new deadline for people to be able to file their taxes. So just make sure that if you're getting some money back, maybe don't blow it all in one place. Maybe save some of that cash for a rainy day. And just, you know, make sure that with conflict, you maybe just back away from some of that for now until people have cooled their horses, and might be thinking a little bit more with the brain instead of with the emotions. Okay, also real quick, I want to pull from my seashells, do a little bit of conchomancy with you guys. And let me grab these. And we're just going to roll them around. Oop, there's a couple that are popping out. And let's get a little bit of a message. Let a few fall. Okay, let's see what our message is. Our extra little clarification message. Okay, so this little seashell here I see is more of like the lovers or collaboration or working together, maybe also like a 3 of Pentacles. This one here with the spikes, I see it also as the 7 of Wands, and that's the card that actually was pulled. So this is like complications and roadblocks and issues. And then this here is kind of all about choices. There being different choices coming up, and I see that kind of like with the bumps on the shell. So we have choices, we have conflicts, and then we have working together. I guess, I mean, this is just reiterating what I already said in the spread here, is just remember that when conflict arises, you know, whether maybe when you're working with people, that there are a few different choices that you have. You can engage with them and continue that argument, and who knows, get into a physical argument afterwards. You don't really need to do that. You have the choice. You have the choice to walk away. You have the choice to think differently about the situation. You have several options available to you. So when you feel that somebody is wanting to engage in some sort of dispute with you, you have several options available to you on how you wish to work or not work with that person's energy. So just kind of keep that in mind. So I mean, pretty straightforward. It pretty much goes along with what we've already said in the cards. Okay, so
I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. Make sure that you head over to V's channel so you can get the extended reading. So you can choose her pile number 1 or choose any pile of hers that you are feeling connected to, or multiple piles, totally up to you. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember to give it a thumbs up if you dug it. Don't forget to click subscribe and don't forget to click that notification bell. I will catch you spiritual homies later. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out. Hey, what up, pile number 2, my awesome homies? So we are going to be diving into what is summer of 2020 going to bring you. Are you going to be feeling the burn from the sun? Oh, or are you going to sport yourself that golden tan? Quite like myself, you know. But anyway, I forgot in the intro to let you guys know the decks that I'm going to be using. I'm actually going to be using my Oracle Pogs, which those of you that remember the 90s and the 80s, there were Pogs. I'm going to be using my Dame Darcy Tarot, which I keep in here. I'm also going to be using my Hazel Moon's Hawaiian Tarot. I'm going to be using my Lisa Frank Majors Only Tarot that I printed out for free on the interwebs. I love free decks on the web. I'm also going to be using the Oracle of the Mermaids. And for funsies, I'm going to be using my Millennial Tarot. This is a Majors Only deck, but I just use it as an oracle. Another one that I'm going to use as an oracle is the Food Fortunes Tarot. It's actually, I mean, I guess you could read it as a tarot, but I read it more as an oracle, and I think this will be a lot of fun for the reading. Let's take a look at what summer of 2020 has for you. Remember that here in the Northern Hemisphere, we've already had the solstice, and in the Southern Hemisphere, they've had one as well, but they're going into winter. But for here in the North, for us Northies, let's see what we have going on. Your seashell here is this cool one that I found in Pacific Beach here in San Diego. And I don't know, it kind of always looked like it had an eye. It looks like kind of like a little animal or something, like doo 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 doo. But let's take a look at your cards. I'm going to pull from my seashells after I take a look at all of your cards. We have our Pog here, and this one says boo, so scary. We have the 8 of Swords. We have the Star. Interesting. We have Temperance. We have the Link. We have Trust Fund. So it says fortunate, entitled, secured, irresponsible. Description: you have a great fortune awaiting you. Will you mature into a person fitting of this gift, or will you squander your inheritance on booze, excess, and island getaways? The place: club, bathroom stall. The totem: daddy's Amex. We'll see how that ties into everything. And then we have the present: gift, treasure, revelation of own value, nowness. Interesting. Okay. I want you guys to also take a look at these cards as well and see if anything else pops up, any messages that you get. I always welcome people to comment down below other messages that they received. So I want other people to translate the cards as well. Okay, so let's kind of put this all together. So Ace, Swords, Star, Temperance. Okay. So this is what I'm getting here. I'm seeing a going overboard. So I don't know, might this be more of the sunburn for summer? Because there is a point where it stops turning into a tan and it starts turning into more of a burn. And it seems like there is an excess of something. I'm feeling more like an excess of thought, maybe. But you know, all of your creative ideas, you know, are thinking we can, you know, like I said, we can have creative ideas. We can, you know, help somebody out of a sticky situation by being able to see things from a different angle. You know, there are many things that our brain is helpful for. But when it tends to go awry and it's like this crazy old bronco that's just kind of running around in our head, it's not helping anymore, and it throws things out of whack. So that's what I'm getting with the 8 of Swords, that we're going to be
caught into this like trap of thought, where you're overthinking situations instead of, spending some time thinking about it. It becomes like all consuming, like that is all you think about. And here where it says the link, I think it's interesting that it's in between these two cards where we have the trust fund and we have temperance. And temperance is like this alchemical balance, and the trust fund is all about, having the choice to either let your thoughts run away from you, with this abundance that you have, an abundance of thoughts, or you can start piecemealing some of those thoughts out, sitting with some of them, writing them down, instead of just letting them all become like a scramble in your head. So it's like there is a link between these two things. Is you have a lot of creative ideas. You have a lot of thoughts on particular topics, from a variety of subjects. And the link between these two is to really find a balance when it comes to your thinking, your action, what you say, how you work with others. And this boo I'm kind of getting is like goes with this Eight of Swords over here, is just kind of getting trapped in thought. But then we also have the Star. And for me, I feel like you are receiving a lot of downloads, you are receiving a lot of guidance, but it's all kind of going into that swirling mass of thought going on inside your head. And so being able to have some of that guidance is great, but if it's like, let's say your guidance is like, I don't know, some sugar and you're putting it into a recipe. But there are so many other ingredients going on, and there is so much going on in that recipe, and that little like teaspoon of salt or sugar is, you're not even going to taste it. You're not even going to know it's there. So might want to back away on making this recipe more complicated than it needs to be. So one thing to help you out this month, or for the season of summer, is to be more present, because it's saying it's a gift, it's a treasure, to be able to be here now, be with the people that you have now, have the things that you have now, have the health that you have now, your everything that you're physically able to do. You have a lot of things to be grateful for and blessed with. And I know a lot of people are like, yeah, I'm grateful for my life. But if we just treat it like that, I mean, that's throwing us out of balance. Like, you really have to like sit down and be like, oh my gosh, if I put myself into the perspective of like everybody else in the world, there are a lot of people who do not have the fortune to be in the position that I am. They can't just get up and go jog down the street. Some people they can't even get out of bed. And I think that this summer it might behoove you to sit down with yourself, write out some gratitudes, and start writing down your thoughts before they become a cluster in your head. And I also think that you'd be able to hear your guidance a lot more clearly by doing so. But let's go ahead and grab our seashells here. And hold on, let's try to get all of them in my hand. And I'm just gonna roll them around. We'll see what ones maybe fall out. I'll just grab a few. Oh, okay, there we go. There are some ones. Okay, so the ones that we had fall out, we have this one here, which I always see is kind of like my female shell. And then we have this one, which is interesting. This is my masculine shell, so it's female, male, and then this is the shell for spirit. I also think it kind of looks like a parrot. What do you think? I don't know. So to me, parrot, spirit. But I think this also makes sense here. We have temperance, and here we have the balance of masculine, feminine. The star, I said, was like your guidance, and here we have spirit. So this definitely goes along with everything. If you want to be able to hear your messages which they're always coming to you. We're spiritual beings. We just happen to have these human suits, these earth suits. So we're constantly getting information outside of ourselves. But to be able to hear what Spirit has to say more clearly, be able to hear your gut more clearly, is to be able to balance that masculine and feminine, which we might want to say is fire and water, which are the kind of, I would say, the elements that were used during the summer solstice, those of you that are pagan and maybe do those sorts of rituals. So being able to temper that, your passions, your emotions, your thoughts, your reactions, and just maybe write some of it down. Find a way to get those thoughts and feelings out in a constructive manner so it's not overwhelming. Yeah, you'll be able to hear your guidance a little bit more clearly. But also remember to be present this season and to really write out your gratitudes. Like, seriously. But anyway, that's it for me, spiritual homies. Make sure you head over to V's channel so you can get that extended reading. So you can also choose her pile number 2, or if you want to choose a different pile or piles, that's totally up to you. I hope that you guys enjoyed this, and if you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to click subscribe, and don't forget to click that notification bell for more videos just like this. I hope you guys have an excellent summer. All right, peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out. Hey, what up, pile 3? Final pile for our summer 2020. What is summer 2020 bringing you? So we have already begun summer as of the solstice, which just passed last week here in the Northern Hemisphere. But our homies down south are now going into winter, as they have just hit the winter solstice. So depending on the part of the world that you're living in, grab yourself a jacket or grab yourself a boogie board. We're going to be diving into this. Are you going to get more of a sun burn? Ooh. Or are you going to work on that golden tan? Okay, I forgot to mention before the decks that I'm going to be using that I'm going to be using Hazel Moon's Hawaiian Tarot. I'm going to be using my Dame Darcy Tarot. I am going to be using my Oracle Pogs, which I just love those. And I'm going to be using my Food Fortunes Tarot, but I use this more as an oracle, and I thought it would just be really fun for this reading. Another fun deck I thought to bust out is the Millennial Tarot. This one's pretty fun. It's a majors only, but I'm also just going to use it as an oracle. I'm going to use the Oracle of the Mermaids. And I'm going to be using the Lisa Frank Majors Only Tarot, which was free downloadable off the internet. Okay, I have my seashells here so that I can do a little bit of contromancy at the end of the reading, just get some clarification. I'm going to have a little bit of water from my little sipper here. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Oh, by the way, you guys have this freaking awesome seashell that I got in Mission Beach here in San Diego. At any time I see some cool shells on the beach, like, I am always collecting. My pockets are full by the time I get back to the car. Okay, so let's put your little seashell down, and let's see what your pog and cards have to say. So your pog says purge. Okay. We have the 9 of Sticks. Interesting. Ooh, we have the High Priestess. Death. The Forever Golden. So fried everything. We have Brunch. Sustenance, abundance, life, celebration, a Bloody Mary, Mother of Christ, a Savior of hungover bodies. Will avocado toast and bottomless mimosa suspend Sunday scaries, or leave you regretfully unproductive and in need of a nap? Place in a long line. Totem, last night's squad. I love that deck so much. Okay, your oracle card here, the magic of the Coelen Druith. So caution, secrecy, wary. Interesting. Okay. So I want you guys to take a look at this as well. You know, try to incorporate your own intuition. If you get any extra messages, definitely place it in the comment section down below, you know, because I do invite you guys to also try to figure out what messages you see that maybe I did not see. Okay, so give me a moment. Let me try to put this all together for summer of 2020. Booyah! Okay. Okay, this is really interesting. You guys have a lot different reading than I think pile number 1 and pile number 2. I think pile 1 and pile 2 were very similar. But this was interesting because here we have like a wariness almost, you know, where, you know, I mean, there is a lot going on in the world, I know. And I feel like this group especially might be feeling really just kind of like beat down, just like kind of tired, just wanting a change of some sort. And I am seeing that there is a change coming for you this summer, a transformation, but there's going to be a purge. There is going to have to be a letting go of something in order for that relief that you've been seeking, because, you know, maybe you're just at your wit's end. Maybe you're just tired of what's going on at home, or what's going on, you know, in your immediate circle of friends, or what's going on in the news. It just seems like it's really been taking a toll on you. But it seems like so much being able to come in for you. But there needs to be a release. And it seems like the universe is going to be helping you with that release. So once you start to see what direction it's going in, you can obviously help take some of the reins and help do a little bit more releasing. So it could be an emotional release, it could be a mental release. You know, there are a lot of different releasing type activities in order for a change to come in. But then these two are interesting because they definitely go together. This one was about abundance, but forever golden, you know, fried. You think of fried foods being very rich. You know, there's a lot of oil, a lot of stuff. So these are two like very abundant, very rich cards. But this one with the caution, secrecy, wary, secrecy almost connects to the high priestess over here, where she's not secret, I guess, but she's she looks into the secrecies of things. You know, she's a very learned person. She's always reading, always trying to look between the lines. When people are talking and they're expressing their opinions, she's listening to them, yes, but she's also trying to figure out what are they not saying, and what is it that they are alluding to. So she is very adept at trying to look at maybe people's ulterior motives. And don't think of ulterior motives as somebody's trying to be deceiving or, you know, like in a negative way. Sometimes people have the best of intentions and they say certain things to get you to jump on board with something because they believe it's good, you know. But the high priestess is going to try to see all angles, try to listen to all opinions, and then try to figure out what she thinks is best. She's also going to be doing a lot of research, a lot of reading. She just doesn't fly off the cuff with all willy-nilly just because somebody says one thing. You know, she wants to hear all sides. She wants to hear everything. Okay, so putting it all together here, you know, like I said, you're coming into the summer feeling a little worn out, but there is this change kind of coming for you, this transformation. And it's going to be excellent because it's going to bring abundance. And I don't believe that that's in the form of money. I see this abundance is in the form of clarity, being able to relieve some of that burden that you've been feeling. And often I think that this burden is coming from there being so much mystery, so much secrecy, like what is really going on. And like I said, this could be a worldly thing, but it also could be just like what's going on in your family. Stuff like that. And I feel like there is a wealth of information that will come to you once this transformation takes place. And also it should help you to become more discerning, being able to kind of look into that which was not clear before. Okay, so let's go ahead and, oops, grab your seashells. Oops. Try to get them all in one hand here. Okay, so we're gonna mix these around until some of them fall out. Okay, I think that was enough. Yes, it was. Okay, so I'm gonna put that there. Let's see what fell out. Okay, we have these three. All right, so this seashell here is my abundance seashell. That goes with the two cards that you saw down there. Because of all the growths that are on this particular sea animal's shell, I just see that as like a coming of abundance, you know, there being more than there needs to be. This seashell here is my conflict shell, you know, just because it has so many ridges and so many bumpies. I kind of see that as just being in conflict with someone or something. And then this one, which I believe pile number 2 also got this. This is my spirit shell. And to me, it looks like a parrot. Like if you see it, like it's got a little beak, a little eye. This is my spirit seashell. Okay, so let's take a look at these and see if they can clarify a little bit what's going on. I guess this would go more here because it's the abundance. And then we have spirit and conflict. Okay, so yeah, this is just actually reiterating and what's in the cards. So the conflict, we can almost always like say that that goes with that card, the 9 of sticks. And then the spirit is you being able to be more discerning. So that's almost like spirit working through you, you being able to tap into your higher self, your higher consciousness, you know, being able to listen to your own voice a little bit more clearly. So yes, there is a abundance of, you know, information and all that coming in. And you'll be able to be more discerning just once we learn to let go of a lot of things and allow this new kind of transformation to take place in our life this season of summer. And those things that were secret before will finally be revealed, which would alleviate some of that burden, some of that conflict you may have been having in your life recently. But yeah, so I mean, it's kind of like, how do I want to put this? It's like you'll initially feel like a little bit of a twinge of a sunburn, but you, as soon as you start to feel it, you go inside the house, you know, put some put some of the Maui Babe after browning lotion, which actually that actually does really work for turning sunburns into suntans. So yeah, so you start to feel that sunburn, but eventually it's going to turn into a suntan. So it's going to be like to your benefit. So I do feel like it's not going to be an easy season for you, but the transition that's going to take place and the ability to finally get some answers and see things more clearly is going to take a huge load off your shoulders. And I think that's what you're really looking for. So yes, it's going to be difficult, but in the long run, maybe towards the end of the season, the end of summer, you're going to be like, well, you know, that sucked, but it was worth it. I would rather be understanding and knowledgeable of what's going on than being left in the dark this whole time. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that pile number 3. I hope you have a fantastic summer. And don't forget to head over to V's channel. Her link is down below, so you can get the extended reading. You can also choose her pile number 3, or you can choose 1, 2, you can choose all of them, you know, whatever you want to do to get your extended reading. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to click subscribe, and don't forget to click that notification bell for more videos just like this. And I'll catch you spiritual homies later. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out. All right, hey V, you are my final pile. I hope you enjoy this reading. Thank you so much for asking me to collab with you again. I love our collaborations. It allows me to tap into my creativity and have a little bit more fun with my pick a card readings. Okay, so I've already had some nice ice cold water. I love these little sippers. Like, how do you not love crazy straws? Okay, so let's take a look at your cards, and then I'm going to pull from my seashells over there. We have your Oracle Pog says Circle of Life. You have Boy of Sticks, which is your Page of Wands. You have your Fool card. Interesting. Magician. Ooh, me Reiki. The Sparkler. Quarter Life Crisis. Unhappy, hopeful, indecisive, fearful. You dream of something better and play out scenarios in your head of what could be. Any step is better than no step. Will you take a leap of faith and let life surprise you, or continue to live in a constant state of angst? Ooh, that leap of faith makes me think of the Fool over here. Your place, corporate job, totem, unfulfilled potential. I love the Millennium Tarot. It's just hilarious. All right, Coral's Wisdom. Colony, delicacy, fragility, works that are created over great periods of time. All right, let's put all of this together, and I'll spread these out so you can see them as well, and maybe also find some message for yourself. Put my little circle of life there. Okay, so give me a second and we'll see what's coming for you, summer of 2020. Are you getting that sunburn or suntan? Okay. Okay, I mean, I think it's pretty clear. With the Page of Sticks, you know, the Page of Wands, you know, they're bringing, the Page of Wands brings in like a message of like passions, that your creative projects, things that you're really, that you love and that you're into. And these two, I think, are both like the Fool card. Like, it's telling you to get off your butt about something and finally go do whatever it is that you're doing, because you've been creating some magic maybe in the works that you haven't let people know about yet, and maybe you have, but you're not quite finished with it. And this circle of life is kind of like everything kind of coming full circle right now, where now is like the opportune time to totally shine, to totally sparkle, and to remember that this thing you've probably been working on for quite some time, and it might be a little bit more time before you fully see it come to fruition and see the fruits of your labor. But now's the time to really make some huge progress this summer. So I don't know, girl, I'm seeing more of that suntan. What do you think? I don't see a burn anywhere in here. Yes, I know this is like technically fire, but I mean, sometimes you need a little bit of fire to get a little brown. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm just seeing some like really great stuff for you this summer. Let me pull from your seashells here. Okay, and I'm just gonna work these around until something falls out. Okay, let's see what fell out here. Okay, so let me bring these up. This is like my 7 of Cups seashell, so this is lots of choices. This is my masculine seashell, so divine masculine. And this seashell represents the element of water. Because of its blue color, it kind of looks like ripples in the ocean. I just kind of thought it looked like water. Okay, so let's put this together. Okay, so I do see this kind of like the magician, kind of like that catalyst, that spark, that masculine. But you know, the magician does work with the masculine and the feminine, but what gets it going is the masculine, and then we rely on your intuition, your creativity. So whatever project it is that you're working on, you're going to have to work a lot with your gut, your intuition. So this might be something that maybe people haven't done so much before, so you don't have like a model or something to look up to when it comes to this. This might be something like totally different and new. You know, and I do see that you have a lot of choices that you can make when it comes to this. But don't let that stop you from taking a leap of faith, to keep this going, because I mean, like I mentioned in my first group, my first pile, that there's a lot of electricity in the air for summer. And people can utilize it either like getting into fights with people. They can utilize it to fuel their creativity. There's a lot of ways that you can utilize that electricity, that fire, that energy. And here, the cards are definitely telling you that whatever it is that you are working on or working towards, it may not come like complete during the end of summer, but you'll at least make some big headway. All right, so V, thank you so much for allowing me to collab with you. I always love these, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed your reading, and I hope you have a fantastical summer. Give your family hugs and kisses for me, and I'm gonna have some more of my little sunny sipper here, and I will catch you later, V. Peace, love, and chicken grease, girl. Peace out.